Welcome, everybody, to the Journeymen Lounge Podcast.
You better be praying to God because, you're 14 and losses in a row. You're going to need Jesus.
Am I wrong?
I thought you were pretty wrong, yeah.
I don't give a shit. All right. Welcome.
Our fearless leader. Yeah.
Welcome to the Journeymen Lounge Podcast. This is Woj coming at you on a fine Wednesday evening. We got the Bulls playing. This is going to be our different kind of episode because normally we do some NFL recap. We'll just go through it for 2 seconds here. The Eagles won, beat the Commanders in a stomping, and the Chiefs beat the
Buffalo Bills for the fourth time.
Can we talk? Fucking Bills are so stupid. I know they got hosed on a few calls, but stop running the QB sneak. It's not working. You've had it like 6 times.
I'll say it in this game. They lost. There wasn't a real, missed calls.
There was definitely some missed calls.
There was some, but I don't think that turned the tide.
Nothing affecting the game in a way that, this was the fourth down. I mean, my only critique of the game is really, with the Chiefs, and you can look this up, throughout the year, they blitz a lot because they give up a lot of points. Their guys in the secondary can't really cover that well. And they're besides Chris Jones, they don't they have a good defensive line, but they don't have great. And they blitz all the time. On fourth down, games on the line, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to just drop back in coverage?
I know.
And Josh Allen rolls out into the blitz. Now he throws up a fucking Hail Mary 500.
Right.
It's just dude, it's the Chiefs did this all the time.
Yeah.
And then they did it again. It's how do you not think they're going to blitz a corner?
I will just say that I do think that it was the Bills being dumb more than them getting hosed on calls. That's how I want to reiterate.
I agree.
But I'm just saying that if they take that same approach with Philadelphia, they have a better wide receiver core, they're going to get torched. They're going to get absolutely torched. Or they'll say, hey, Saquon, we'll do a play action. Fake the handoff, and then A.J. Brown.
Well, yeah, that's what we said on that one play. And literally the next drive, the Chiefs had a similar situation. They ran a little rollout with him and the receiver, and he got the first down. Why don't you have something like that a little quick?
The jet sweep, man. I love the jet sweep.
And then, like I said, they kept running the QB sneak multiple times in a row, and it have been stopped. I didn't see it work one time the whole game. So I don't know why you keep thinking that's going to work. If anything, James Cook's having a career game. Give him the fucking ball.
Game.
He's getting 6 yards a carry. I'm sorry. I picked the Bills, obviously, if you couldn't tell, in my one pick'em thing for work or whatever. So I thought of all the years, this is the year they could do it. This is their chance. But, I was stupid.
Kansas City wide receiver that I had in my fantasy team, rookie, what's his name? He had a hell of a game. Worthy had a hell of a game.
That one catch was questionable. It was a dual catch, and the ball probably hit the ground.
I'm not saying that, but he didn't drop. He wasn't, out
he was good.
making mistakes.
Yeah.
So
Worthy,
good job.
I mean, KC is just gonna keep willing a way to win off of some bullshit luck or a ref call or whatever. I don't really give a shit. I think I am going to watch the Super Bowl.
I'm in a bunch of squares.
Over at a buddy's place. I am. So, I'll watch it because it's football, but it's just another year of just, I don't want to see – do you think, man? I just I don't want to see the same teams in the Super Bowl over and over again. Philly, I think they were a good team overall, and Saquon's leading the charge. So, it's not a surprise. It's not annoying. But when the Chiefs have been in it, I think 5 out of the last 3. I'm sorry, 5 out of the last 3. 5 out of the last 6 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It
has the Brady effect.
Ridiculous.
Everyone hates the Chiefs, but Chief fans.
I don't hate Mahomes.
Pretty much.
Yeah, right.
I don't hate Mahomes for the fact that he's winning. I think it's great that he can do it with a shittier team each and fucking every year. I don't want the refs to be playing a fucking
to his card.
To be influencing it so that it does take away from Mahomes because this whole year people are like, I would be doing great too if I got 10 fucking holding or defensive holding calls or roughing the passer,
unsportsmanlike or something like that.
So it's just annoying.
I'll say this with Brady though. Brady got his ass kicked. When they sacked Brady, it's not like there was flags out. They really put a hurting on him. So I'm not trying to like be on his jock, but at least I could respect that more.
For sure.
I get you. So Chiefs,
Yep.
Philly,
Chiefs Philly. It's gonna be a hell of a Super Bowl, I think.
2 weeks.
Rematch.
I think it could be good. We'll see. We'll probably touch on it. You know, we're not doing too much of a Super Bowl extravaganza because, like, I mean, we'll talk about it, but in reality, I'm not going to go 2 hours into like, let's do Super Bowl
breakdown.
Yeah, let's analyze the offense against the X Factor. Like, if the Bears are in it, you bet your sweet ass we will. We'll go over every fucking lineman. Same thing with the Packers.
I'll be in the ground before the Bears are ever in the Super Bowl.
Bullshit.
Can we spin off really quick since we talk about the Bears? Ben Johnson got hired. What I wanted.
It's a great call.
What I've been saying.
It's like putting a chandelier in a fucking porta potty. But yeah, go ahead.
I mean,
you got to start somewhere.
I do like the analogy. I will say that, but
I think. Well, honestly, though, I think they're finally, hopefully, changing their ways a little more. This Kevin Warren guy seems to be steering the ship in the right direction.
I mean, to me, it's just simply for one of the first times. Maybe the Bears have done it before. They did with Khalil Mack, but like they went out and got the top guy.
Right, they went out
and got the guy who everybody sought after. That's a move that I like what the Bears do.
He came in the building. He didn't let him leave.
Now, if we can do fucking offensive line and get some guy like that, then hell yeah.
Yeah, well, exactly. But
I have a quick opinion, though. Khalil Mack,
when
they did have him on the Bears,
he was terrible.
It felt like he wasn't even playing like 60% of the game, right? Am I the only one who thought that he was only brought in certain packages?
Not that first season.
He got hurt in the second season. So
that first season, he had like an MVP type of season.
Okay, so maybe he was more involved. But I think like his tenure with the Bears, I only saw him chilling on the sideline or only brought in for special packages. And like maybe that rubbed off on me more than his like the 1 year he did.
I also don't think that was his call. I mean, I think that was the coordinator or whoever.
Could be.
I don't know. Maybe that's just my thought.
Well, and if you look, he was still good on the Chargers afterwards. He's, you know,
like I said, still an impact player.
Never like he was obviously on the Raiders or that first year on the Bears, which to me is one of the best defensive Bears players seasons I've seen in my lifetime.
Right? No. Like I'm not trying to take away.
Yeah.
I always thought it's like, dude, if you have this type of talent on your team, he would not leave the field.
With him that year, we had a legitimate Super Bowl chance. Like if Mitch Trubisky wasn't quarterback, or we had a kicker who could kick the ball and I hit the post.
Oh, you guys didn't want to sign Gold for the extra money.
Well, actually, that's not it. Gold was also worse, and he became better after. I mean, he had a few bad years on the Bears that led up to that.
He did. His percentages started to
and
fall
he needed
off.
that kick in the keister, quite frankly.
Maybe that was it. You could be right.
You know, I think.
Could be.
But yeah, either way. I digress. Sorry.
It's all good. While we're on just sports in general, I just wanted to mention here, like you knew it was going to happen, but like Bronny James, LeBron James's kid.
Here we go.
I mean, like it's so evident. Why was that a
nepotism and the
dude's dick? That was a pants commercial.
It's underwear. It's a Depends commercial, actually.
Okay. Hey, let's keep the decorum.
I don't give a fuck. So
talking about.
I'm just saying though, like I knew it was coming, but like it's so evident right now. The last game was yesterday that I just happened to be on the in the background. He went 0 for 5, 3 turnovers. I think he had a couple rebounds. And he had like 3 fouls or something like that.
I could be 0 for 5. I could do that.
And the one time, I mean, he fucking tried to lay the ball up, and the guy hit it like a fucking
like F you,
dude. It was ridiculous, man. He took it down. It was absolutely insane there. But I'm just saying, I just wanted to call it out. It's like this is why the NBA is so rough right now, dude. It's just like LeBron James goes, "Hey, I want you to draft my kid. Otherwise, I walk," as Ryan said before, and they do it, and he's exactly as everybody thought. He's not a professional basketball player.
He's not.
Well, I mean, LeBron is such a coveted asset. Not Bronny, LeBron Senior. That I had heard people of thinking teams might just draft Bronny just so LeBron might sign with their team in a year or whatever. Because that could happen because that's how much.
How much more stock does he have?
Yeah,
honestly, how many more years does LeBron have in the NBA that he puts up?
I mean, as much as he wants on it, at least. I mean,
he'll score 20 points until he's 45.
The way they rest him and he takes breaks and things, he could go for another. I'm assuming probably at least like 5-6 years.
Get out of here!
I think he's gonna go set as many records as he can and then get out.
Can I just say, to piggyback on your Bronny thing?
Sure.
which I also don't like this nepotism thing. He should never even been drafted. The fact that he was drafted is a joke.
He doesn't have the accolades. He
well,
doesn't have the
can
skill.
I give you his stats, Bobby, for college in his 1
Let's
year?
hear it.
Yeah. And he went to USC.
Average 4.8 points per game, 0.2 blocks, 0.8 steals, 2.1 assists, 2.8 rebounds.
How is he making anyone's radar?
Right. This is guy.
No,
this
he's
is
making him because of his name.
this is like a bench player. You know, usually
Not even a bench. That's you're not drafted.
you're not drafted. Not only that, you're going to play in like you're lucky like Russia or something.
Even
Like
Jordan's kids never played, but he never pushed them
well,
into
they
it because of
did
his name.
they did play. They were played in college, but I'm saying they didn't get drafted to the Bulls because
no,
Jordan.
but Jordan was complaining, but he said, no,
You
if you're
know,
good enough, you're going to make it. If you're not, you're not.
Exactly. Just like the fact that someone else who deserved to be drafted did not get drafted because he was drafted, and he's not even the stats of a bench guy, like we said. Like usually in college, you have to be like outstanding to even get
To even be a bench
to have
guy.
chance to be drafted to
Right.
maybe sit on the bench, and he's getting drafted for that. What a joke.
That's kind of exactly how I feel. What a joke. It's a real rough time for basketball.
I think we're all in agreement.
So let's get into it, gentlemen. The
You're
reason,
a moderator here. You
well, the
gotta set
reason why
rules.
Bobby looks so dapper, heavy sarcasm.
This will be the last of the compliments.
Yeah. This is the inaugural Sandpaper Hour,
Yeah, sir.
which we've been talking about. for a long
I like
time.
to call it the airing of the grievances, like Festivus. I got a lot of problems with you
Hey,
people.
We started off this nice and civil. We had, champagne, some hors d'oeuvres. So I'm ready to, pull out the knife now.
Yeah, I mean, we kept it classy. For those who are just tuning in, the Sandpaper Hour is there have been things said over the last 73 episodes that really grinds people's gears.
Hot takes,
Hot takes. Hot takes. Hot takes.
like sizzling.
And
Oh, that was incredible.
that's pretty sick. This is the time to go over. We've identified a few. And we'll just kind of go one by one as we go through. And this is a take that somebody has said or, made a statement.
3 out of the
And-
4 are my takes.
True. Very true. But, I mean, overall, it's just we got a problem with it, and now we gotta squash that
A lot of
beef.
problems with you people.
I
Yeah.
got a lot of problems. So there's going to be friction. There's going to be sandpaper.
Right. So we're gonna
It's going to get gritty.
do
Hence
the
the
damn
name.
thing, but mainly I did want to kind of more say for you guys. Just in general, I think the format that we go with is just simply like somebody will bring up the topic, somebody who will like open up, like, and whoever has the take, let's say you open up, give it a couple minutes. I got the time
Like an opening
right here.
statement, almost like a court
Like an
battle.
opening statement,
Sure.
but like a couple minutes, and then
Sure.
I'm gonna cut you off at some point and go, hey, now we have rebuttals.
Or you
and-
can have your opening statement, and then we could discuss.
Yeah, so I
topics,
would
yeah.
say like again, but just so that one person isn't talking the whole time, and
That's
then
fair.
also that you not jumping back and forth. No, that's shitty. What
Right.
the yeah.
I get you.
So let's start with the first one, which has been a widely heated topic here. So
I got notes.
Bobby had said that, and again, keep in mind
Keep in mind.
what I wrote down, which I confirmed with you, Jamokes, last time, was that Will Smith, not a good actor, is what you said.
Yes.
Okay, that is the argument at hand, and Bobby, you will have the floor.
All right. So to determine what makes a good actor, we need to assess the qualities of a lead actor versus a supporting actor. I think it's important to distinguish.
Sorry, I got one more point before we go.
Oh.
I got one more point. I have one more point before we go. Keep in mind that this is your opinion, and that's all I'm going to say. Your
All right,
opinion.
So the closest
unless
to fact.
unless
but
you
yeah.
have a scientific study or some shit. But if you're gonna say something like, "Oh yeah,
No,
I think
what
this,"
what I'm going to read off are qualities. This is an
That-
agreement across
okay,
multiple forums, multiple
okay, you go ahead.
schools of thought. So, what makes a good lead actor? I think we could all agree that having charisma, confidence, creativity, understanding the human behavior and condition, ability to adapt, and physical delivery and stamina. All right, those are all qualities that
What the
a
fuck
lead-
does stamina have to do with acting? I'm sorry, I'm interjecting. Go ahead.
All right, so we already learned his level of discourse for this type of
That's all right.
reading.
Read it and you fucking...
Now, supporting actors, some of the
bullshit
qualities
shoes.
that represent a good supporting actor, and this is more of the point where I'm trying to make, is contributes to the story, enhances the lead actor's performance, supports the narrative arc by adding layers, depth, and chemistry among the other actors. That being said, Will Smith, let's take a look at his top grossing films. Let's take a look at whether or not it is on his back to make this nut. Aladdin, definitely not. Independence Day, definitely not.
Time
Let
out.
me finish. This is my time.
No, you can talk. Just keep
Time.
it in your head to rebuttal.
Suicide Squad, dog shit. Men in Black 3, Hancock, Men in Black, I Am Legend, Men in Black 2, Hitch, and Shark Tale. So those are his top 10 grossing films. And let's let that simmer for a moment, because are any of those really his peak performance, lead actor type of roles? The answer is no. Moving forward,
opinion.
now there are certain
yes.
aspects to consider of note. Wild Wild West is another film. Bad Boys, the franchise there, and his debut and breakout role essentially in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Having looked over all the different scores, and I know I'm not a fan of Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb, but having failing scores in Rotten Tomatoes and a low D average in IMDb doesn't bode well for you being a lead actor. Keep in mind also, and just one final note, all of those titles that I kind of mentioned outside of I Am Legend, he's with a cast of seasoned actors, actresses that really pull it together. Now, what I would characterize Will Smith as is an okay, good supporting actor at best. And I yield the floor.
Oh, you only took about 3 minutes.
Can I see your notes really quick? I just didn't know what you listed. I want to make sure I'm getting it
Be
right.
careful with the beer. I will go just for a couple of points here. The first thing, this is my opinion, but I think it's held by a lot. The Rotten Tomatoes, the IMDb score, and stuff like that. I think there's always some movies that are panned on there, and there are these
also.
Okay, let me
sorry,
finish.
Sorry, go ahead, man. My bad.
So there are these movies that are panned on there, but they're actually, like, again, as the critics go over there, they're like, this was a phenomenal movie, but because the general public definitely doesn't like that. I don't like that has any influence here, just because, again, I get that a lot of people are saying that, but I don't really trust somebody who votes on the movie to give them a score.
Like I said, that's
on a IMDb. Or
I want that to be a considering factor. Sorry,
That's fine.
I don't mean to interrupt.
That was
a considering factor, but not a basis.
Can I also just add real quick that the IMDb scale, I would say, is not an complete accurate scale where like an A is necessarily everything's a 9 point whatever. Yes, it is, but also good movies are like, for example, Goodfellas is only an 8.7 on IMDb.
Right, 8.7, which is 2.1 better than his average.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, in my opinion, it should be like a 9.8 or whatever. Like,
I'm just saying that's an example of what I'm talking about. Just undervalued.
Valid point.
Undervalued movies. I will also say, Bobby, is that as a flaw to kind of our setup here is that you have to take into thought his entire catalog, dude. So I know that you mentioned some movies. It'd be boring as fuck to go through and say like, oh, there's the movies. But I think if you're gonna, again, the point being like he is actually a good actor. Like
he's okay.
What the definition of good to me is like you have to be better than a lot of people. But like we didn't say phenomenal. We didn't say like an Oscar worthy type of guy. Or actor or whatever. Like Will Smith to me definitely fits that line of being like he has made some great movies and he's made some real clunkers, right? After Earth comes to mind and some other bullshit.
And either way though, you're seeing it because most likely because he's in it.
So Ryan is talking about like an awe factor, right? Of like, oh, like Will Smith's in it. I gotta go see it, check it out.
Yes, like Denzel's in this movie. I'm gonna go see it. Now Denzel is of course a better actor than Will Smith. I'm not gonna say he's not, okay. Of course. But no one's as good as Denzel. Let's be honest. I mean, come on, it's hard to.
No, and that'll be part of my final closing statement.
I'm just gonna read facts.
Okay, what do you define as facts right now?
Facts. This is a fact. As of 2025, his films have grossed over $9.5 billion globally,
I would agree.
making one of the most Hollywood's most bankable stars.
Bankable.
Yes, meaning that
Bankable.
people want to see
So
him.
commodity
People
more
want
than-
to see him because he's good at his craft, because they like what they're seeing. Now let me just go. When we were kids, so let's just say from 95 to like 07, there's a good chance every year you're seeing a Will Smith movie.
Peak years for sure.
And I was just gonna read them off real quick. Bad Boys, Independence Day, Men in Black,
Good start.
Enemy of the State. Wild West wasn't good, but it was a big movie. Well, I'm going to mention
Right.
it. Legend of Bagger Vance, again, kind of the same thing. Ali, which he was nominated for an Oscar.
Did you know that he was only 220
Yeah,
pounds?
whatever. Nominated for an Oscar. Men in Black 2, of course. Bad Boys 2. I, Robot. Shark Tale, as you mentioned. Hitch. The Pursuit of Happiness, another Oscar nomination, by the way, for a lead actor. That's 2. I Am Legend, which I think he could have been easily nominated for, and I would argue it's probably Will Smith's best movie, showcasing his acting ability, as you said, where he can be serious and have emotion, and you believe him in the role and whatever. Hancock, again, not a great movie, but a good selling movie. I'm sorry, I actually went past 2007. That was,
Okay.
But either way,
It's
that's a
great-
pretty damn good.
It's a great
12
stretch of
years.
movies. I would just also add in, just to kind of punch it home a little bit, is that I don't think you can take into account, like, if you really hang your hat on one of his bad movies, then I think you're going to look at it and go, he's made an atrocious film. Like the way, who's a good example of that? Like if you hung your hat on Johnny Depp did that Lone Ranger film, which was like
Or
critically
Mordecai.
everybody hit, or something like that,
Right.
and you go like, oh, that is Johnny Depp
Right.
is
No,
terrible.
that's not my
I
take.
think I'm just saying though, is like you have to kind of eliminate. You should take into account those movies that are worse, but I think you should also like kind of remove those from the section and look at the category, or not category, but like the wealth of his films that are like, these are great. I mean, great films overall, and it wouldn't be possible without him. I Am Legend, the Bad Boys franchise,
Men in Black franchise.
Men in Black, Enemy of the State is
Independence
way
Day.
undervalued. Independence Day was a huge hit.
And also, you had mentioned before Suicide Squad. He's definitely like him and Margot Robbie. I think would be the two big names that people wanting to see the movie, and it's an ensemble movie to begin with, so you can't help that. I'm just saying.
He's a great supporting actor in that.
Okay.
And not even great, capable
All
supporting
right,
actor.
so Ryan, do you have any more
I got rebuttal
points,
already.
and then we're gonna go back to Bobby.
Yeah. Also, I think I
Throw out a couple more of your points.
I'm glad that you're on Wikipedia. That is always a trustworthy source that I could manipulate
I
tomorrow.
think he's looking up
It's
years
a list
and
of
shit.
films in the year they came out.
No, that's fine. I
It's
have
not
those here, too.
disputable.
No, don't worry.
Indisputable.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's a shitty show on Fox, I think.
Yeah, like I said, most of the time, even like I said, these movies that are his bad movies, like a Wild Wild West, like a Suicide Squad, like After Earth, people still saw them and wanted to see them because of him. They still grossed over hundreds of millions of dollars. So clearly, if he was a bad actor or not a good actor, they wouldn't want to see. He wouldn't be going to see these movies.
I think it would have been far less of his.
You think he would have had
gross
a
income.
30-year career if he was just a guy? I mean, I'm not. And again, we're not saying he's like the best dramatic actor in the world. He definitely has like a
He has
niche.
he has a limit.
He shines more in like where he is like can be like kind of slightly funny at times, but also can maybe be angry or whatever, like maybe cocky, like you said. But a lot of actors have that. Denzel is good when he's Denzel. Not everybody is like a Leo DiCaprio or a Daniel Day-Lewis,
Right.
where you can play these different things.
Well, Daniel Day-Lewis has never really played like.
I'm just saying some people shine.
Daniel Day-Lewis, let's
comedic
not even
role.
go close to.
I'm not saying.
not
I'm just saying
comparing
like
that.
he could, but he like is a method actor where he
Right.
gets.
He's
you
saying
know-
he's saying Daniel Day-Lewis, or DDL as we call him, is
Please comment.
the complete opposite. Daniel Day-Lewis does mainly dramatic films, and he does them for a specific audience, namely
Christian
the
Bale, very method
namely
actor.
the Oscars.
Yeah, like
But-
like whatever, like Leo or whoever, where they can shine in multiple things, whereas opposed to some people are just, they can do different things, but I'm not saying that they're better at a specific thing. Like Keanu, we like seeing him in action movies as opposed to like a romantic comedy.
I'm glad you brought that
Has
up.
he
'cause that'll
done
be brought up
both?
later.
Yes, he's done both. Denzel, can he be this or that? Yes, but do we like him as like the kind of like cocky know-it-all angry dude who like is the shit? Hell yeah, we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think to penalize Will Smith for being good at a certain role is ludicrous.
All right, so
I'm gonna make one more point
Okay.
before I flip it back to Bobby, and then we'll kind of just we'll do basically closing arguments at
Sure.
that point, right? I just think in terms of the Will Smith, like the question of like, are you good, are you bad? Very very general of a question because we're not
this
as
is
smart
a very
guys.
opinion based.
Opinion based for sure, but I
Yes.
think you just simply have to look at like there's films that he did like 7 Pounds and Pursuit of Happiness, where these films like you have to go to. I mean, there's more examples, but like they gave him like, hey, you're going to the most dramatic place. You're either crying on camera, you're telling somebody that they're dying. 7 Pounds is like
Yeah, he's out of his comfort zone.
he's trying to like save it in Pursuit of Happiness. He's got like his kid there that he's fighting for, homeless and all this shit.
Right.
So like when you do movies like that and people like those movies, I think that's where you look at it like
You
this
think
guy
that's
can.
the testament.
I
That's
think
the
I think it just
litmus
shows.
test.
I think it just shows his range as an actor.
Okay.
But-
Comedy is
Yeah.
his home, but he can kind of spread out.
Right,
into-
like exactly. I want to say like I think he's great in like what you said in those roles, but do I prefer him in Bad Boys or Men in Black, something like that more?
My Lowry.
Yes, because I think that I like seeing Will Smith be funny because he's a funny guy. So, but I do believe he's good at doing the serious as well when the task is at hand.
Not all the time.
Not all the
but
time,
sometimes.
but he has been known to do it. He's not incapable of it.
All right, Bobby, flipping it back over to you for
So
closing.
we're going to
arguments.
explore just a little bit about how Will Smith came to be, right? A little bit of his coming to Hollywood in that sense, and some of the folks that he had the chance to work with. Margot Robbie, you mentioned earlier, Josh Brolin, Tommy Lee Jones, Charlize Theron, Jason Bateman, Michael Mann, Bill Pullman, Jeff Goldblum, Judd Hirsch, Randy Quaid, all these folks that he's around.
Why did you?
I like Randy Quaid from
Oh my
Independence
god!
Day.
Are
Come
you
on.
serious,
Okay, but
dude?
Let
His
me-
counterpart was Jeff Goldblum. You. What?
Let me finish my thought. Thank
Oh, I'm
you.
sorry I had to jump in because that was ludicrous. You mentioned Randy Quaid. He's great in it, but he's,
I love Independence Day. I like his role in it.
Go
All right.
ahead.
So that being said, we could kind of assume and come to the assessment that he's typecast in this lone wolf, tough guy, or playboy, of which he is neither. Right? He tried to dip his toes into the music business in '97 with Big Willie style.
You go
I mean,
fuck.
dip his toes. He has a Grammy for rap.
Right. So
It's not great.
no one else would agree with that.
Well, I'm
in
just
the
saying he
rap or
was a
R&B.
rapper before he
Right,
was an
that's cute.
actor.
Right, and he's 187 pounds trying to pull off 240, but
called
I
acting.
digress. Now, one thing that I will give him, so during that 97, like let's just say debut, Wu-Tang Forever came out when Disaster Strikes by Busta Rhymes. You have One Day It'll All Make Sense by Common, but you're right. Everyone's running out of the fucking, record store with Big Willie style. Okay,
Well, it
so
did make a
that
bunch of
being said,
money.
Oh,
with Notorious B.I.G. dying earlier that year and Tupac dying the year prior, you kind of got to come to this assessment that this guy is like a black Mark Wahlberg in the sense that you get what you paid for, but it doesn't command your attention or provide real drama to a role. Now, the one caveats that I will give him some credit to is Ali, Pursuit of Happiness, and I Am Legend, where it is permissible to say that he was a good actor in those roles.
Throwing big
Outside of
words
that,
out.
though, you have to
Okay.
look at his general, filmography. Is he a good actor based on reviewing all of those, scenarios, all those different people that he's worked with, basically taking more of the spotlight off of him? He is a suitable support actor at best.
Okay,
All
let me
right.
get back there
I'm gonna-
really quick.
I'm going.
And then I have a closing argument.
No,
so-
you already- that should-
No, can I get my closing? Let me
closing
right here.
now because
So,
we're going over.
closing
I'm saying
arguments-
two things, then Ryan's going.
Closing
Go ahead.
arguments. So other black actors or actresses that I would prefer over him any day, and this is the same time period that we grew up in, Denzel, Samuel Jackson, Lawrence Fishburne, Morgan Freeman, Eddie Murphy, Don Shield, James Earl Jones, Forrest Whitaker, Idris Elba, Cuba Gooding Jr., Chadwick Boseman, possibly Michael B. Jordan, Viola Davis, and Angela Bassett.
Right,
all better actors and actresses.
Without a doubt.
And with, I put a caveat on this in a different lens, a different scope. Danny Glover and Jamie Foxx are in discussion. If we look at more of the comedy role, Martin Lawrence, Wayans Brothers, Ice-T, Ice Cube, or Richard Pryor.
Okay. You're just naming names at this point.
No,
So
I'm just saying
that's
all
what
of
you
those
prefer?
have a little bit more gravitas.
That's what you prefer. That's yours. I am not even going to touch that because that was the craziest, most ludicrous
I'm
thing
glad
I've
we
ever
landed,
seen.
though, in
Stop.
agreement that there's
Stop.
at least 15 other people
did
that
not.
are...
land in
I'm
agreement.
talking here.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
Horrible.
yeah,
take.
the only two things that I'll say is that it is absolutely insane for you to compare. We're talking about acting. We don't give a shit about his rap.
Yeah.
I think
No,
overall,
it
Stop.
needs to be brought up.
I'm talking, man.
Okay.
Let me finish. But no, it
Background.
doesn't, because we're
Background's
talking about
important.
acting. So comparing Biggie and other guys and Method Man and Wu-Tang means absolutely nothing.
It's
That
ridiculous.
was crazy. That wasn't even left field. That was in the parking lot. That was crazy, out of bounds. And the other thing is that Big Willie Style sold 11 million
Yeah.
albums.
Number 8 in the U.S.
Baby
Like-
Shark sold more. So
Okay,
right.
Ryan, you go ahead.
Let's
Closing
continue.
arguments.
Big Willie Style, number 8 in the U.S. in '97. Millennium after that, number 5 in the U.S.
I will always love
Just
you
so
number
you know,
1 in the U.S.
Yeah, well, great. I'm saying
So,
you're saying he's
okay,
not a
you're losing
successful
to Celine-
rapper.
Celine Dion.
The hell is doesn't even rap? It's not the same music.
Fine, he doesn't
Stop
even-
changing the argument.
He
Let me
doesn't-
talk.
He doesn't
Oh no! Shut the hell up! It's my turn to talk.
Bobby's changing the argument.
You keep
here.
doing that. You do it all the time where you try and throw in this other thing and then it tries to make me lose my footing. I'm not going for it, okay? It's not happening. No.
You can see you're
Second of all,
emotionally
yeah,
involved.
because your takes are horrible. All the actors you listed, by the way, before that were like Margot Robbie, whoever. Will Smith was the lead guy in those movies. They were supporting him. He wasn't supporting them. So, now maybe in Independence.
Tommy Lee Jones, yeah, your whole breakout role. But go ahead.
Oh yeah.
Continue.
Okay.
Let him
Tommy Lee
talk.
Jones and the first Men in Black and Will Smith are co-stars of the movie. You know what that means? Equal stars. Co-stars. They're both on the cover of the fucking movie.
Yes, you were
Do you
rhetorical.
think that Do you think that Will Smith just happened to get in that movie for no fucking reason at the time? Because he's one of the hottest actors at the time. He did Bad Boys, Independence Day, and followed by Men in Black. Do you really think we would have got Men in Black if it was just some fucking guy? No. Also, we're not saying he's the greatest actor. We're saying he's a good actor, and I would argue the people you listed, yeah, maybe some of them are better at dramatic acting, whatever. They're not as big of a star as Will Smith. They're not going to be on the fucking poster like he is. Will Smith is a guy like Denzel in that sense, where it's like he might not have the acting gravitas as him, but he has the star power like him, or close to. Like, dude, like he was, like I said, one of the leading men from the mid '90s to at least the mid to late 2000s, where he's like a Tom Cruise, like a Tom Hanks, like a whatever, like. Yeah, well, I'm fucking getting heated over
Right.
it. His take is horrible. Josh
All right.
Brolin was also in Men in Black 3 supporting him. He was playing Tommy Lee Jones because he was too fucking old and they went in the past for the plot of the movie. So the fact that, Will Smith got however millions of dollars to do the
Cash grabs, yeah.
yeah, cash grabs. Being away, they cash grabbed him because he's one of the best stars in Hollywood. That's why.
And that's argument is done. All right. That's where we end it. That's where we leave
All
it.
right, we'll leave it there.
I want the audience to decide who won that one. All right. So let's get right into the next one.
Yeah, cigarette.
Let's get right into the next one here.
Yep.
Because
We're only 1 out of 4, man. You're gonna be
Yeah.
stabbing me soon.
it's all good. Let's go into this. I mean, this one could have been even crazier than the first. You
All
guys,
right, here we go.
you guys ready? Have your
was
minds
fun.
blown?
That was good.
Bobby believes that the singer Alicia Keys, I'm going to put her here. I'm also going to put Will
Graphic.
Smith up in
That's
the
fine.
first part there. But he believes
And his
that
one Oscar,
Alicia
yeah.
Keys, again, this is the argument, the blanket statement. Alicia Keys is not a good singer. Ryan, this time we will let you go first.
Well, I would just say that that's also the whole statement is opinionated. So depending on what you think a good singer is or isn't, I mean, I'm just saying for argument's sake.
I think it's kind of just general with our conversations.
Sure.
We're all opinionated.
Do I think
but-
now is she my favorite singer? No. Is she very talented though? Hell, absolutely fucking yes, she is. I mean, aside from her singing, I guess this isn't. But as a musician, she does her own instruments. She writes her own songs. Should I just get into? I'll just get their accolades.
Sure.
I'm gonna read it. One of the world's best-selling artists. United States selling over 17.8 million albums and 21.9 million digital songs. Over 30 million albums worldwide. Billboard. That would be, who keeps track of the songs or whatever. Mm-hmm. Ranked Keyes as the 5th most successful artist of the 2000s decade, top R&B artist of the 2000s decade, and placed her at number 10 of their list of top 50 R&B/hip-hop artists of the past 25 years.
Right.
And she's earned numerous awards, including 16 Grammys. And there's a couple other ones, 9 Billboard Music Awards, there's a BET Awards and whatever. But I'm just saying, let's go with the Grammys. 16 Grammys. Mm-hmm. Like I said, if you don't like her music, I think that's fine. I know you're gonna say something about her yelling or something. I listened to her music.
Oh, the New York song.
I listened to her music in preparation for this. I didn't really hear any yelling except for maybe a couple parts where it's like the song's kind of getting more intense. But every singer does that. Like, for example, I listened to Usher the other day, and you got it bad. He fucking yells. Everybody yells. Fucking Steve Perry yells in Journey. Fucking who doesn't yell? I mean,
right. No, I understand.
There are some bands that exclusively just yell, so I don't really understand.
Screamo is fucking the worst music of all time.
So as far as that goes, I'm not in agreement with that. I would just say that she turns it up at times when the song calls for it emotionally, and other times she seems to be pretty in the range, of what she's supposed to be. So, I don't know. I mean, for me, Woj, do you have anything you want to add to that?
I'm just going to jump in, and I'm going to say something. It's going to sound crude.
I don't know what else I can
It's going to sound crude, but I think it's a valid point here, is that, Bobby, have you heard her songs?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to read some of the songs. You just give me a yay or nay, okay?
Okay, that's fair.
Girl on Fire.
Yes.
If I Ain't Got You.
Yes.
No One.
Yes.
My Boo.
Yes.
Falling.
Yes.
Empire State of Mind.
Yes.
Gramercy Park.
No.
Like You'll Never See Me.
No.
Superwoman.
No.
Powerful.
No.
Karma.
No.
Kaleidoscope.
I want to say maybe on that one.
Did you say No One?
Doesn't Mean Anything. I did say
I've heard
No
that
one.
one, yes.
Okay. So.
Okay.
This is just kind of where I'm at, is that she doesn't have like a huge catalog where I look at her and I go, like Will Smith, like in comparison, just to not bring it up again, but like Will Smith's catalog of work is phenomenal. Yeah. Like Ryan said, 30 years of a career. Alicia Keyes, I think, has more like 15 to 20.
You'll say 15, yeah.
Where she's producing music at a high rate, and they're at least kind of popular.
I'd say at least like
in
10
general.
to 15 years, yeah.
I think she is definitely in that, like, R&B singers are some of the best singers of all time. If you're classified as R&B, I don't think anybody's going to you going, you can't sing, this is an abomination on the music industry or whatever. I think, again, it's in fact quite opposite. Now, when you get into the fringe genres of music, I do definitely think that you can go like, that guy's not a good singer. Like Screamo, for example. No, I don't mean to take a dump on, that, but Screamo, like when it's come out, I don't think the guy, like, I'm not listening to go, this guy's got great technique in his voice and sounds
like,
great.
I would say someone we like Anthony Kiedis from Chili Peppers. Is he a good singer? I wouldn't say he's like by standard definitions, but he gets the job done to his music.
Gets the job
Well,
done.
I'm saying he has his own unique way of doing it where he kind of like, talks more than sings, and it works for some people it doesn't. But would I say he's a traditional good singer like a Freddie Mercury or something like that? Absolutely not. That just is an example of like, a singer who can make it work having less vocal range, if you will.
I mean, like you said, it's funny, but he makes it work. The songs are great. The thing, I'm just throwing it out there that to me, it's another thing of like, you can't hear the song and go, terrible singer. You can say bad song. Because I will say, is I'm reading the list to you, Bobby, going like, oh, have you heard this one? I even said a couple that I haven't heard.
Right.
Just because I'm like, I don't know Alicia Keyes having the biggest.
Well, I think if we were more R&B guys too, maybe we'd know more of her stuff.
Very
not that,
true.
Not that
very
we are.
true.
Maybe we're fringe R&B guys. You know, we're not like.
I would say I'm in that pocket of like 70s to early 2000s. I know a lot of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
After that, I get a little
hazy.
But all right, I am done with my arguments.
Yeah, but I'd love to hear about it.
All right, so when we consider a good singer, right, we have to look at the attributes that make a good singer, right? That's important. So register, delivery, pronunciation, transition, and staying power. Those are all qualities you'd find in good singers, right? That being said, let's just take a dive into this a little bit. She has plenty of accolades, 15, 16 Grammy wins, plenty of nominations. Born, I did a little deep dive on this. Born Alicia Agello, Augello. I can't pronounce it.
That's
Cook.
fine.
In 81, January 25th. So literally a few days ago. So I guess happy birthday. American singer, songwriter, and classically trained pianist. And to her credit, like I said, I think that her ability as a songwriter, as a composer, like pianist, getting on the keyboards or getting on the piano, I'm not taking that away from you. Now, what I consider a good singer, and I want this to be known, that the average vocal range for most folks is about 3.5 octaves. We can reach 40 notes. Let me finish.
Can I ask what your source is on that?
Sources, you can check it out.
Where?
Check it out. I didn't write down my
sources. Did you at least?
I don't have an annotated bibliography for this. Okay.
Well, you should have.
You know how many octaves she can go?
Because I researched it. I actually did the work.
but this is what I'm saying.
The untrained normal person has about two to 3 octaves.
Did you do it on like Wikipedia?
No, I didn't do Wikipedia. No.
Did you go to stars.net?
I did more of a scholarly article type of thing. So.
Okay,
you can check it out.
Go ahead.
Okay, with that in mind, we need to explore some of the other artists that were around her at the same time, right? Let's look at it within context. So, same time. Christina Aguilera has 4 octaves from C3 to C7. Britney Spears
was that a spine?
Has 4 octaves, 4 sharp, 3 to C6. I don't know. I'm not.
Don't say C. Just say it's C.
Whatever. Okay, Mariah Carey has 5 octaves, right? Mariah Carey was around. One person that I'd like to kind of combine her to, or at least in parallel to, is you have someone like Pink, who is also skilled and plays the piano and had 4 top 10 albums in the same period, as well as 3 number 1 albums in the early 2010s and through the 2010s. So accolades aside, even with some comparison, it's important to note that other folks did a little bit better, and keep in mind, I think one other point I want to make, Avril Lavigne is in the same register as her, essentially. 3.5 octaves. Sold 26 million worldwide between 2002 Let Go album and Under My Skin. So just touting like, oh, she sold a bunch of records. So did a lot of other folks too, because that was the format back then. You bought a CD. But what gets me for her, and just as a starting opening point, is her first album that was released in 2002, which was Songs in a Minor, which is, okay.
Okay. Songs in A minor, but.
Okay, so Songs in a Minor.
A minor.
A minor.
Well, I knew
Hence
that.
the octave range you were just speaking of.
I knew there was going to be a clip.
All right, there's the album. But I think there a major influence that played to her success, and which will play to her success in future records, is a week prior to her release, she performed on the Oprah show and created, I think, some buzz, right? It's, call it some marketing buzz, some more.
So she's smart, is what you're saying?
Right, no. So she performed on that a week before the album was released. I'm just saying that Oprah has influence, period. I'm not trying to expand beyond that. Also, by 2005, when she said, If I Ain't Got You, which is a tribute to Aaliyah, who passed away, who wed R. Kelly and had a relationship with Jay-Z.
Real quick interjection.
Yep.
I fucking remember the exact space,
in the Bahamas, yeah.
No.
August 25th.
You don't know what I'm going to say, so
right,
let me
ahead.
say it, and then we'll go from there. I remember the exact spot where I found out that Aaliyah died in that plane crash. I don't know why. It's in my brain back here.
Oh, it's just...
I was in like it wasn't a hotel. Maybe it's like a restaurant, but like attached to a hotel lobby. And then there was like a TV up in the corner. You remember how they used to be?
Yeah.
Those big-ass TVs up in the corner? And like it was on there, it was like Aaliyah crashing a plane crash. I don't know why. I'm not even the biggest fan of Aaliyah,
You know what's
but
weird?
it's just like right there.
I was in Puerto Rico with like doing a family vacation or a trip when Michael Jackson died.
Oh, really?
I know exactly where I was. I could walk right to like the hotel when I saw it come across.
Right, it just like sticks in your mind.
I was like, the fuck? Like, get out of here. So
Sorry, didn't mean to interject.
No, okay. So
are you?
that pretty much wraps it up. I just
Okay.
want everyone to kind of put into question that her ties with R. Kelly, Jay-Z, and Oprah, I think definitely has some level of influence of popularity in the early 2000s. I think that's without question.
All right, I'm gonna go real quick. The argument is whether she's a good singer or not. So
I know. I'm just saying influence.
I look at the sales of her album. Honestly, I don't think they mean much to anything. The more that we go on in years, because of the way that people absorb songs, which is 3 minutes, and you can watch it 15,000 times a day. The numbers don't, the downloads don't matter. The album sales don't matter. Nothing of that matters, because if you did it when it was 1960 and it was hard to get a physical copy of it, I look at it as like that's a real influence of like how many people actually are listening to this on the regular and doing that. The general sense of where I fall is just that Alicia Keyes is again like noted in certain things as like one of the greatest. She sung at the Grammys and like multiple other huge events, and just in general, you don't get asked to go there if you're some gimmick. Like, I don't know if you guys see this kid, the yodeling kid, like on social media. Like he was big like 5 years ago or whatever. And he like yodels. And it's like, that's a niche thing. Good for you. He's not going to get invited to the Grammys though, to be like, hey, can you yodel for us? Because again, it's not that it just, again,
I think the validity of the Grammys are suspect at this stage.
Very true, but I'm just saying that they do invite good singers. They don't go, hey, we're going to invite the worst guy ever. That's where I'm going to land my plane. Ryan, go ahead.
Well, again, I would just say that I would, most people today, I mean, I don't know about kids or whatever, but I would think, a lot of people probably know like songs that she's in, I don't know let me see what she's on real quick on Spotify here. Just curious. She's got 30.9 million monthly listeners, so I would say she's got lasting power, and if her voice was bad, that 30.9 million people probably wouldn't listen to her monthly. So
Okay.
I'm going to go with that. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's all opinion based, and I don't, is she like the greatest singer? No, she's not like, is she as good as Mariah Carey? Of course not. She's good as Christina Aguilera? No. Is she a good singer though? Yes. And just because she sings at a lower register with less
mezzo-soprano,
less octaves than them doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means that's her range. She's more of a raspy or deeper singer.
Right, you're more of an average singer because
that's
can't
not
hit those
the average
things.
singer. It's just a different range.
Right.
It's like the dude from the Temptations who's you're saying like Mel is worse than Eddie because he can only sing low and he can sing high. That's just your
At least
preference.
Barry White owns it. All right, so
what the hell does it do any of this?
in
Stop
terms
doing
of low
that.
register, all right.
Did you
Just
just
say Barry White?
No, I'm saying he has a lower register. You mentioned
Did you just
that.
change your own point though?
No, I'm saying he owns it much better. Where she's trying to be.
Well, she's not a 300-pound black man.
Right. No, I'm just saying she. Okay, let me. Are we doing closing or do we have some time?
No, I mean you can throw in a
right,
couple more points.
Couple
but we
more
gotta
points.
move.
Like I said, we have to understand the qualities that make a good singer. And
In
having
your mind,
reviewed
opinion.
those,
Yeah.
I don't think she checks off 3 of them. So that doesn't make you a good singer. Now, keep in mind, during the same time, we have Beyonce, Kelly Clarkson, our Chicago native, Jennifer Hudson, Whitney Houston, all better singers. All.
Kelly Clarkson's not better than Alicia Keys.
Who is? Kelly
Clarkson's
definitely.
not better than Alicia Keys.
Your whole Pandora or whatever, Spotify would disagree. And then,
That's
like I
fine.
said,
It's opinion.
being one of the key misheard lyrics, Concrete Jungle, Wet Dream Tomatoes. I'd rather listen to Sting. I don't understand what he's saying in any of his music, but it's better. With that in mind, my final closing argument or
Go ahead.
thought is focus on songwriting. It's your stronger skill set. I give her a C- grade as a singer, and some of the best coaches never saw the field.
C-.
That is truth
Ah,
as it's written. Back
it's
to you.
Truth according to Bobby. It should be
Alicia Keyes still making music. Clay Clarkson's a talk show host, but yeah, she's better than her. Okay.
Yeah, Spotify, I guarantee it's double.
Yeah, I think the question is
Wise
opinionated, and now that I'm hearing the arguments kind of come through, we should really up the level of like, hey, we think this person is phenomenal. Like, if you don't think that this person is phenomenal, then you have like that thing, because like good is a very middle of the road. Like, what is good, right?
Clay Clarkson 17.1, by the way, like about half. Suck it.
But I just look at it like there is, again, the good line is like, would you say like a Jesse Plemons is good?
As an actor?
Yeah, like you'd say like, yeah, he's been in great stuff.
But he's not a leading man.
But he's not a leading man. So like it's a little bit in the
people
argument.
there's like some people are character actors.
But
and
I just to me, I think that the majority of
We're
people
using good, which is very subjective.
right.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I just think that the way in which Alicia Keyes sings and you have ears, I think you go, hey, that person's great at singing. Now, honestly, if you don't think you're great at singing or whatever, you can't sing, I'm sure that also has a little bit of like, I'm not saying you, Bobby. I'm not saying that.
I can't sing for
I'm
shit.
I'm just saying
fine.
is I think people who
I know my lane.
cannot sing will sometimes be a little bit more critical of people. Be like,
I can see that. I can see that.
I think it would always be the other way, but I think I see that happening more of like, oh, not that great, but in reality, pretty great. Ryan, what you got? Last couple thoughts here.
I think I'm good. Just like I said, I'm just going to reiterate. I don't think she's like, as good as certain other people. Like, she's not like, I don't know, whatever. Like I said, like, it's not like Freddie Mercury or something like that, or like Robert Plant or whatever. But again, she's good at what she does.
Who's Robert Plant again? I know
the lead
name.
singer of Led Zeppelin.
Lead singer Led Zeppelin.
But she's got a good voice. I think she's definitely a good musician. She's an accomplished musician and deserves her flowers.
Deserves those flowers for Alicia. The classic Sony. All right, so let's move on.
Yep. I like this next one.
This next one's great, dude. So
Here we go.
Ryan, in our various...
we're doing this one. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, Ryan, in our various conversations, it's like in just general conversation. You go, oh, yeah, that's good. Oh, yeah, whatever. As we were, like, going through the holidays and stuff, he was like... Oh yeah, not the
It kills me a
the
little bit,
pies. He was like, I'm not a pie guy, and Bobby and I were both befuddled because
I mean, it's
just,
Americana. It's part of our culture.
But it's like it's a sweet treat usually. I know there are savory pies, right?
There's a myriad of different pies. You could go fruity. You could go sweet.
myriad.
You could go tart.
But
you could go any direction.
I
with a pie.
really think that the fact that you could have again a meat pie, like a shepherd's pie or whatever.
Yeah,
I think
you could go meat.
or you go a sweet cherry pie,
Key lime
apple pie, whatever. There's a million different things, or like a cinnamon pie. I don't
lemon
fucking know.
meringue.
To me, I got to get to the like, what's the trauma in your life
Right.
that you
Who
don't
hurt
like?
you?
Because pies are one thing, right? Like pies
Yeah,
are like
that's
these,
step one of
These are
this, yeah.
great, right? And you're just like, nah, I'm
They're
good.
fine.
That's fine.
They're
That's fine.
okay.
They're okay, right?
You're right. They're good, so they're not that great.
But then
I'm
you
glad
go-
We've established that.
Then you go into the second part, which is
fine.
crazy. Which is crazy.
which is worse.
You don't like fried chicken?
Well, traditional fried chicken, not like no fried chicken. Like I like chicken sandwiches. I like boneless chicken bites.
But if I gave you a
chicken
drum,
nuggets.
if I give you a drumstick,
You'd rather have a
with
grilled
the bone,
chicken instead of fried.
I don't like fucking with bones. He told you guys this. I don't like
Doesn't
the bone.
like
Don't like.
fucking
I'm not a
with
wing guy
bones.
really. In the traditional sense.
Oh my
I don't
God.
do fried chicken.
Oh my God. We need to pause. I need.
Why would I want to risk biting my tooth on bones when I don't have to?
Oh my God.
I'm just
I
saying.
need a minute.
It's simple. It's a simple question to you. Why would I want to do that if I can get the same great taste without the bones?
No, and that's where we're at right now because you're crazy. You are crazy if you think.
Are you worried about like a choking hazard? Do you not know how to maneuver your mouth and
No,
tongue?
I just don't.
Do you not know how to maneuver?
I don't like fucking having to dig through my fucking food and like pick through.
Girlfriends
bones.
didn't stick
like,
around long, right?
Okay, so this is what I'm sensing
you a little
here
bit,
for
sorry.
sure is that you haven't had like a good chicken wing.
Also, I just don't really
Because-
like fried. It's greasy. It's
You
But-
eat McDonald's and all this other greasy shit. What are you talking about?
not as greasy as fried chicken.
Okay,
Oh my god!
what I'm saying though is
I'm
that
calling the kettle black. But
in the general sense though of like again pies, I'm almost like I get it. Some people are just not
I
pies
don't like
people.
the gelatin in the pies. It's a weird.
But when it comes again, pies, I'm not gonna fight you like
I
Colonel
like,
Custard.
I like
It's so
cakes more.
packaged
I
well.
like
You got a
cheesecake. I like
crispy
cake. I like
outer
cookies.
crust.
I think
Great
I
filling.
think pies though and desserts in general, like just for example, I'm not a huge birthday cake guy.
No, I don't like
And
cakes either. I like
I
pies.
never really was. So like this is what I'm saying is like desserts, you're kind of like whatever. But with fried chicken is kind of where I'm awestruck. Like I don't get the when you're saying, "Oh, I don't like the bones," and picking through it. Your fried chicken should literally be, "Hey, I'm going to take a bite and the meat comes off the bone."
Right.
So this is where it leads me to believe is maybe you don't have you've
You've had
gotten
some
a
negative
proper
experiences.
I don't know.
fried
I just
chicken.
don't. I don't really like the crunchy, greasy.
You don't
outer
like the
part
texture
Of it.
of
I don't
like
like
a
the part of the
crunchy out-
inside. It's got that dark, weird
All
spot
right, this
on it.
is what we're doing now.
I'm definitely
is-
getting some fried
I
chicken.
would
We're
just
going to
rather
get
have-
we're going to get fried
Yeah,
chicken
and some
we're
pie.
going to do a
I
taste
would
test.
rather have boneless chicken
And
or
we're-
chicken
Do you know
sandwich.
what cold? Because you like boneless stuff that has nothing cold, so they grab chickens that are male and just throw them in a blender. So you prefer that
Yes.
over a full-grown chicken that
Yes.
had time to develop a good. Okay.
Y-E-S. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So all I'm saying is that we're for sure now doing a chicken
Chicken and
taste.
pie.
We're gonna just do like some bullshit. Hey, KFC or whatever.
My
Okay,
dad, I said I don't
Popeyes.
like
We'll
KFC.
get a few, like,
I don't-
churches.
I
Then
won't-
we'll
I
get
won't eat
some-
KFC.
Okay,
We'll
no
get a
KFC.
sampler.
All right, we'll do Popeyes. We'll do something else, and then we're gonna do some home cooked fried chicken.
My dad would tell you. My dad would always go out and be sometimes he'd be like, "Hey, we're going out to KFC. What do you want from KFC?" I'm like,
Your dad sounds like a cool dude.
I'm like, Dad, I'm good.
You go no.
You said no.
You don't go give me a biscuit.
I'll eat the biscuit.
Yeah,
Maybe
my
I'll eat the
man.
potatoes, or you got fries or something like that.
I like cornbread, but not from there.
Yeah,
But
that
other
shit
than
sucks.
that, I'm good. When I go to Popeyes, I get a spicy chicken sandwich. I don't get fried chicken. I get a spicy chicken sandwich.
That's kind of blasphemous coming from Popeyes.
Well, I'm just saying.
This hurts me to my core. So, cultural wars have started out because of you not appropriating with the natural norm of things. Like swimming against the current is what you're doing, and we're trying to help you and benefit you in a positive way. So
I can say the
we'll
same thing
work
about
on
the other
that.
arguments probably for you.
Right? No, I know. I
touche,
understand.
touche.
And as far as get back to the pie thing,
Okay.
I'll eat a pie, but I don't prefer them. I would much
God,
rather
there's-
have a cheesecake, regular cake, brownies, cookies.
Just you're just saying
if you count a donut,
You're
donuts,
I'm glad we
Literally-
did that donut. hour when we did it.
cupcakes.
you're literally just saying
muffins.
any other dessert. You can
Yes.
just say any other dessert.
Well, not every other. I want like a scone or something like that. Maybe I'd have
Yeah. Okay.
pie over that. you
Right,
know.
right.
Dude,
Understand
we
that.
live in
And
the
I-
Midwest.
I
How
would
many
say
scones are you getting?
I prefer if I have to do a pie, I like a Boston cream pie because it's like a donut. And that's why I like it.
Pretty good. I mean, the donut
Or a
version.
cake. you
Let's
know.
let's be
Baker
honest.
Square,
Let's
they
be
had
honest.
that
The
shit.
donut version of the Boston cream
And
pie is better.
If
than
I am
the-
gonna have
the
pie, I would prefer it a la mode with ice cream.
Apple pie with ice cream is the greatest thing ever.
And I don't
That's
like-
why
Yes.
it's crazy.
And you
that
guys know this already, but I'll just say it for the audience. I don't like whipped cream. I don't like it. I
Oh
think
my
it's-
God.
I totally forgot that you said that.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, you would not have made it like post World War II where they had apple pies and whipped cream like at every dinner.
Well-
You'd starve a little bit each day.
I don't. Okay, hit me with what's the problem with whipped cream? One
Yeah.
of the greatest inventions
It's
of all time.
disgusting.
Cool Whip
I don't
or
like
in
How
the
is it
can?
disgusting?
Tastes like
Riddle me this.
air and I don't know, sugary air and it's sticky and I don't need it. I don't
That's
like
because
it.
you don't put it on your fingers.
I don't know. I don't like it. I never liked it.
I think the mechanism of eating is we're starting to see a root cause.
It doesn't
here.
add anything to it. It doesn't
I
add
mean-
anything for me. It takes things away.
It doesn't
It
add
tastes-
anything.
Oh, like that on a hot chocolate? Come on. To the
No.
top on some pie.
Maybe some
on some dessert.
maybe some mallows in there. I can go for that.
I'm gonna
but
go. I hate that you just said the word malo. It's terrible. Get rid of it. Cut it out.
Sandlot,
Um,
baby.
I will tell you that I am gonna definitely go to like a Costco. I'm gonna buy an industrial like 24 pack of Ready Whip now, whipped cream, and now that's me all day.
We'll sit on the pod and just hit it.
I'll gain 600 pounds,
Listen,
man.
T-Dog, you can have as much whipped cream as you like. I'm not gonna have any.
Dude,
And when I need it for my customers,
Someone
hot fudge
hurt
sundae,
you in the
there better be
past, and
some
we'll
in there.
slowly uncover what happened.
so that's
but
wild.
Not on
So
this pod.
so pie, whipped cream,
and
fried chicken, and that includes chicken wings.
So I'm not a seafood guy, really.
Well, what
kind of seafood are we talking? Like
Nothing.
lobster? You say no to lobster?
what about shrimp?
Fried shrimp, maybe.
See, now you're pulling a
do
Bobby.
fried shrimp.
Because you don't like fried chicken. But you like fried shrimp.
Yeah. In that case, yes. There's
All
no
right,
bones.
So we got to really question his palate at this point.
I think we
I do like a fried calamari. It's good.
I think
rubber.
fried
Yeah.
chicken. Fried chicken, you get good fried chicken. I think you'll be like, that was really
it's
good.
revolutionary.
But I don't think I think Ryan, you're set in your ways of.
I mean,
I think you're gonna
I've
go.
never had a piece of fried chicken. I was like, wow, this is so good. It tastes so much
right,
better than every other
Right,
piece.
We'll
so
change your
you never
mind.
had that aha experience.
All right,
That's
we'll
fine.
change your mind on that for
Yeah, we
sure.
will.
But the whipped cream and the pie, there's no. You never, like you said, you prefer. You listed like 8 things in a row, like that. Like you definitely.
I don't
pie
like
is-
potatoes, which is weird, but that's a poor man's food.
You would never last in Ireland, Bobby.
Nope, I'd be fucking dead.
Aren't you Irish?
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Potato man.
I don't like potatoes. It's starch and it has horrible texture and consistency.
I
but
mean,
go ahead.
again,
First fried chicken.
I'm also going to throw that out there is that potatoes, just as chicken, you can cook them in a
you can do everything. with a
variety of
potato.
ways.
Boil it, bake it,
Yeah, I
saute
know.
it.
I'm a Lord of the Ring fans, and this is hurting me a little bit. But yeah.
It's all good, man. You guys got weird aversions to food.
Weird
and that's cool, man. You do you.
I'm intervening on you.
intervention.
It's all good, man.
intervention.
I do want to do. Bobby and I have been talking about doing. Maybe we'll do like, hey, we're gonna do a fried chicken in some way, or use fried chicken. I don't know. We're gonna do a cook off at some point.
At one point, man, not fried chicken. We got to bring him to Christ, and then once he's there, we'll do a like a steak or something, or a dessert.
Did you say steak?
A 3-course meal. Like I want to bring
Ryan,
you
you're
through.
a steak guy.
Who doesn't like steak? I love steak. Yeah.
Do you like it well done? I'm gonna hit you.
No,
Okay,
give me a
thank
medium.
God. All right, fair, respectable,
A little pink.
good. Okay, respectable.
All right, so we're moving on from food. And we're getting into another hot topic
This is
here.
mine.
Well, Bobby had said as we were doing
3 for 4 today, boys. Let's go.
Well, as we were doing Jingle All the Way, the movie review, Bobby really had an issue with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Holla. As
Don't like me, Bobby. My movies.
get in the chopper now, do it.
do it.
Um, He doesn't think that many, correct me if I'm wrong, but many action actors
Shouldn't be in comedy.
do not fit in comedies. They are not good in comedies. Bobby, we'll let you have the floor
All right,
first.
so action stars in comedic movies roles. My opening thesis, action stars are not inherently funny, but rather a prop or framework to build around in a different type of setting that plays to another character in the film. That
Okay.
being said, I want to list potential action stars that I think we can all agree upon. Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Dolph Lundgren, Jet Li, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Carl Weathers, Bruce Willis, Chuck Norris, Antonio Banderas, and I have a few others, Bruce Lee, Mel Gibson, Vin Diesel, Clint Eastwood, Harrison Ford. Right? We could agree that most on that list would hit on action stars. My first argument that I want to make, and we'll go into this as we progress, does an action star who play a lead role in a comedy stand the test of time? Do you recall a good movie that an action star played a lead role as a comedic figure that stood the test of time?
Kindergarten Cop.
Now, going to our second argument is, are they
Twins.
actually funny or are they
Junior.
well-written lines? Is the person actually funny or is a well-written line make them funny?
But
So-
Bobby, let me tell you something. I'm just gonna
Hold
get
on,
into
hold
it
on,
right
hold on.
now.
Sorry, you got to let him go.
Oh, I
And
thought he
then-
was done. I'm sorry.
No,
I thought you
and
were-
the last thing, what level of physical comedy can you attribute to these action stars that you just references? And can they replace a comedy actor in with an action star and produce the same quality product? These are all different arguments that I'd like to at least leave open. And to give this some credence, Let's examine the Terminator versus Jingle All the Way. I think that if we had to go to the messages, yeah, it's going to be probably 95% my direction. All right, I yield the floor.
What? I don't understand. What did you just say? What does the Terminator have to do with Jingle All the Way?
I'm saying stay in your lane. He's a great action star. That's an action movie.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in here. You named that entire list of people. I would say two to 4 or 5 of those guys actually pursued movies in comedy. Where I'm saying did multiple movies. Like you mentioned Antonio Banderas. I think Antonio Banderas has done maybe of his 40, 50 films, maybe 2 or 3 comedic roles. So I don't think talking about that guy. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger was the first kind of the example that we globbed onto. But there are other guys that fit right into that. I was thinking about Mark Wahlberg. Turned out to be an action star. Okay, for the majority of his career or majority of movies.
I think he's a hybrid, but yeah.
No, I'm just saying in his first movies, because most of the time you don't come out in a...
He's Fear and
Fear,
Basketball Diaries.
The big hit, Three Kings, Rockstar.
He had a good...
Perfect Storm, Planet of the Apes.
The other guys, and he did Ted.
He twisted towards comedy midway through his... Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying, is that there's more action stars... That again, I think you're thinking of the big name guys, the big buff guys, the Dwayne The Rock Johnson, which I will always call him. I'm never going to say Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Just call him The Rock.
Yeah.
Dwayne The Rock. He deserves the full name. Fuck you.
No, The Rock.
So that's what I'm kind of attaching to is there are so many different examples. Carl Weathers, yes, he doesn't play a comedic role all the time, but he was in multiple movies that show that he is a funny person. Now, you did make an interesting point, though, of the guy that's large being a prop almost used, like Kindergarten Cop, I think, for sure. He's in the urinals and doing the thing, right? And he's a huge guy. It's funny, right? That's a good example of a writer using him against a backdrop of going, hey, the guy is huge. This is going to be funny.
Repeat the line.
I think just in general, if you look at the movie and you go, oh, this was a funny movie with that, then you think that the actor in it is funny. I think it's that simple of a thing. Arnold's funny. The movie is funny. Arnold is fun. That's where you kind of, to me, that's how simple.
Transitive property.
I'm just saying that's how simple comedies are. Now, there are examples of the guy who's big and huge, like John Cena. To me, some of the John Cena movies, some are funny. But I
can't really watch.
But I think overall, to me, he's not a great comedic actor. I don't think I think he has the size. They do the gag jokes. He's a big guy. Blah blah blah. But in general, I don't think he delivers the lines and does the thing. I watched that one, Ricky Stenicki.
Really funny.
Which was again, good scenes, couple good lines in there and all that.
Can't
but to me, I just kind of look at it anybody could have done that role. It doesn't have to be a big buff guy. And also on top of John Cena, he never really was a big, huge action star. He was a WWE star or whatever wrestling federation. Mm-hmm. All I'm saying is that, again, I think if the guy in the movie, you look at it and you go, hey, between shit that he says and the things that he does is funny, then you look at that and go, that guy is funny. That's as simple as I want to make it.
Look,
go ahead, Ryan.
Sure. So I just want to state this to start off with. I am not saying Arnold Schwarzenegger can be a stand-up comedian or be in he's not Adam Sandler or something like that. However, he can be in comedic roles, especially when there's action involved as well, like you said. And he has multiple examples of movies where he flexes his comedic chops, whether it's the whole movie's comedic or there are tones of one-liners and things. I'm just going to list them right now. Also, I would just say Arnold is a unicorn. He's a one-of-a-kind dude where he can transcend different things. He was Mr. Universe, turn that into an acting career, turn that into becoming the governor of California. He's a
juggernaut.
Right. Not everybody can do what he can do. So
he also, sorry to piggyback, he just doesn't fit into one category.
No.
So to say that he does,
and his personality is bigger than life. Well, that's why a lot of the roles in the movies work, because he is so good at portraying it or selling it, or he has comedic a sense of humor and timing. Again, he's not like Eddie Murphy or something like that, obviously, but he can do things. I'm just gonna Commando, Predator. Now, again, these are action movies, but they allow it to have some one-liners or comedic things where they wouldn't work.
So it's like good writing.
No, because if it was good writing, then everybody could do it. Dolph Lundgren doesn't, like you said, he tried to do other movies, and he didn't have half the career Arnold had.
I think you're proving my point.
No, I'm not, because if anybody could do it, then Dolph Lundgren and Jesse Ventura, all these guys would have movies and a career like Arnold, but no one does because Arnold is one of a kind. Anyway. Commando, Predator, Twins, Kindergarten Cop, Junior, Last Action Hero, Jingle All the Way, True Lies, Total Recall, The Running Man. All these movies.
True Lies is action.
It's got comedy in it too, where he has jokes and things. Again, you're not listening. It's got both things. It's not specific to a straight comedy movie like Jingle All the Way, but it has comedic elements in it that wouldn't work if he couldn't deliver the lines of his performance. People would not be seeing him in all these movies. He would not have the career he had if he was Dolph Lundgren, because he'd be Dolph Lundgren, which is a forgotten guy who's in Rocky IV and one Universal
Expendables,
Soldier.
Man.
That's a horrible fucking movie. Anyway,
274 million, horrible.
Yeah, well, Arnold was also in those too. So if you're going to go by that,
dude, of all, those are one of the worst.
Other actors who are action guys who have, like you said, John Cena. Whether you like him or not, he's got multiple movies where he's been Daddy's Home 1, 2. He was in Trainwreck, Ricky Stenicki, Suicide Squad, the newer one. He had the show Peacemaker. Bruce Willis. Batista, he's Drax in the Guardians movies.
Batista, yeah.
He does other movies. He's branched that into more serious roles as well, where he was like in Blade Runner 2049 and other things.
Was that any good?
It was okay. Yeah. Jackie Chan, Rush Hour, the action guy who's funny.
He just blew
in a
my
comedic
mind.
movie. Now, is he traditionally funny? No, but he's funny because he's just a funny personality, and
I think that's actually his core. Yes, he's available for action movies because of his stunt ability and his training, but I think he's a comedy at his core. I don't think
Jackie Chan is more comedy than action.
I think of Bruce Lee when I think of an Asian action star, not Jackie Chan. I think of Jet Li before I think of Jackie Chan.
You don't think of Bruce Lee as the quintessential martial artist? That's
No,
all
I'm
the
saying
movies.
You think of Jet Li over Jackie Chan?
I'm saying Jet Li and Bruce Lee are action stars, Asian action stars that I think of over Jackie Chan, where I think Jackie Chan in himself is more comedic and not as serious, serious action role. That's just my own take.
But that's because Jackie Chan's personality is more of a fun. He can do it again because he can do it, and because they can't. They don't have that in them.
I guess he doesn't
like
hit
Arnold,
as an action star for me.
But he is an action star. He has a whole Hong Kong career before he got to the United States, where all he did is action
20
movies.
years of maybe 15 years of movie making is all action.
The whole reason
action
he's in Rush Hour and Shanghai Noon and all these things is for his action, and his comedy second. His action, it's personality.
I go the opposite way on that.
He's a bankable guy, but dude, that's wild if you think that Jackie Chan, maybe just because you've seen more, you should see, just look up his career.
No, I'm aware
what he did
that he has some
before.
filmography over in China. I'm not trying to take that away from him.
I'm saying that's how he burst on the scene, though, was he is a full-on action, does his own stunts type of guy. And then later in his career,
he used to be a stuntman for Bruce Lee. That's why.
Carl Weathers, Happy Gilmore,
right.
Little Nicky. He was in Arrested Development. He's in comedic things where he has that flex where he can.
Oh, that's right.
He can do these types of roles. Not everybody can. Like a Dolph Lundgren, like a Jesse Ventura, like a whoever else that you name. Some guys have it and some guys don't, and Arnold has it.
So in the argument's sake, would you feel that a majority of action stars do well in comedic roles or movies, or do you only hold to maybe 2 or 3 that really shine?
Not every guy
right,
has
so you say action stars should stay in their lane and just be
I don't.
I understand.
I'm not
thank
saying
you.
that. No,
the
not
entire
thank you.
genre,
You're not listening.
The entire genre is based on the fact that these actors are badass. Toxic masculinity works. $630 million because of Rocky and punching things, not his. Hey, did you guys ever hear this with a slide whistle?
Serious? Are you gonna stand there with a straight face and go like, all of the Rocky movies were so great? Like
$630 million, great because of action, not him trying to do some one-liners.
Okay, well, let's go back to your discussion.
Rocky isn't a movie. You're just stating a pure action movie, man. Like
Rocky's
if you're gonna make the
Conan
argument
the
of a movie
Barbarian
that
versus Kindergarten Cop, True Lies versus Twins, or Predator versus Junior. All right, which one do you feel highlights
all
the actor's
those made
best
millions
qualities?
of dollars and were successful
Yeah,
movies.
So if you're gonna try and do the bankable argument, you lost that one. If you're trying to again say and put those movies head to head against each other, that makes
stupid.
no.
They're
that
not
makes
the same movies.
No
Right,
sense
because an
you-
action star should stay
No,
in
because
his
you
lane.
can't put two movies against each other, man. It's
It's his own movies.
It's a completely opinionated question.
Okay, let's
this
put-
movie or that movie.
How about
Which do you
let's
prefer?
put it like Rocky against Stop or Mom Will Shoot. Which one do you want to see? Of course they're gonna pick fucking Rocky over some dumb fucking thing. Because you know why? Because Sylvester Stallone can't do fucking comedy, and Arnold can.
So action stars should
No,
just
they
stay
shouldn't.
in their lane.
You're not, dude. You ain't listening, man. We're saying that
That's the
certain
argument.
people have the chops and certain people don't.
Right, you
Arnold
mentioned
has
3.
the fucking
Yeah,
chops.
I'm saying 5. Which one of is Arnold Schwarzenegger?
So 3 out of let's say 100 have the
no.
chops. Maybe
I'm
4.
saying you can go
Probably more, but again, Arnold has the work to go.
I
Hey,
really
he
don't
did.
think Arnold
he
is
did,
a great comedic
He did 10 to
actor,
15 comedic movies out of his 70 credits or whatever the hell.
And Danny
lot of his
DeVito carried a lot of that.
Oh my
I mean, Danny DeVito is great.
funny, yeah, of
Danny
course.
DeVito's the best.
Right.
You just sounded like Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah,
Twins
of
and
course.
Junior. Danny DeVito running
Name
it.
me how many funny Sylvester Stallone movies you can come up with.
Sylvester is not.
Name me how many
0.
funny Dolph Lundgren movies you can come up with.
No, that only
Name me
proves
how many
my
funny
points.
movies
It
that
only proves my
whoever.
point. You're right.
No, it
I'll-
doesn't prove your point. It proves your point that Arnold's good and they're not.
I don't consider Arnold good in any of those 4. Kindergarten Cop, Jingle All the Way.
That's because you just don't like Arnold. You're biased against Arnold, clearly.
Oh, no.
We can check out ratings to make sure I'm not biased about
Ratings
Arnold.
don't mean
mean
shit,
shit,
though. We
Because that
already
means a lot of
established
people
that.
aren't biased against Arnold.
No, they're
So
not.
ratings don't mean anything. Then what means something? Your
Dude,
opinion?
no,
Go
it's
on,
not.
go ahead.
No,
What
no,
point-
we're
How
not.
about success? How about blockbuster success?
Those,
not
all 4
money.
of those were not blockbuster successes.
Made millions of dollars that would
Making
never
millions
have
does
gotten
not make
made.
a blockbuster.
If the other guys were just as good as Arnold Schwarzenegger, then everybody would have a fucking career like he did, and everybody would have a fucking comedy like they did, and they don't.
I'm glad we're not talking about Arnold. It's action stars and
We are
comedic
talking about
roles.
Arnold because that's where it started. It was the arguments began from the genesis of things.
Bobby, I think you have an iota of correctness in that, yes, not all action stars can do comedies, and they really shouldn't, right?
Thank you.
But
that's the point.
But overall, dude, like
there
you
are
can't-
ones you can.
I'm saying you cannot
Pulling
go
out a few
against the grain.
unicorns does not make you a pie.
I'm saying that you can't go against the grain on guys that are universally loved. Literally, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. Universe,
Right.
fits right into the name. You can't hate on those guys, but again, you can call out that, like, yes, overall, there are a lot of bad guys who trying to like Dolph Lundgren is an example. Like, I'm sure he tried to make more comedic roles in movies and stuff, and they
Guess
just
what he
fell
made? Kindergarten
short.
Cop 2 was a straight-to-DVD movie. It was garbage.
It would just
I'm-
kill
I'm-
me seeing like Chuck Norris or Jean Claude.
I mean, in
trying to be funny role.
and
Because they can't do it.
And Jean-Claude Van Damme can't really speak fucking English.
Yeah, and
so
their careers aren't half what Arnold's are because they're not him.
Chuck Norris had a pretty long career. I'll give him that.
Yeah, Chuck Norris is the reason we
but
exist.
but
he
again-
allows us to exist.
I mean, yeah, I love those Chuck Norris
Chuck
quotes and
Norris
all this.
jokes.
Yeah, but
He
overall,
swims
again,
through
I
ground.
think you got a problem with comparison of these guys can do it. There's a small percentage, but it is possible. You shouldn't make a blanket statement of no action star should do it because, again, we've proven Mark Wahlberg started off as an action star, still does action, but now he's done more comedic roles.
Sure.
Jackie Chan, same thing. Started off action, now he does more comedic
Bruce
roles.
Willis.
I think it's Bruce Willis definitely was doing more comedic roles at the end because also you think of it. Now, I will say one guy that just continues to do action roles even though it's ridiculous is Harrison Ford. And he's
Dude, that guy's gonna fall one day and
How
that'll
about
be it.
fucking Tom Cruise?
Lights.
well, Tom Cruise
give
look
credit to
Tom
Tom
Cruise
Cruise. That guy
looks
is
like he's
fucking-
30, dude.
Dude.
I'm saying
Tom Cruise could pass for 38.
But Tom
right now.
Cruise, love him.
And there are definitely,
as an action
depending on
star.
what you want to do, you might be right that it might be easier to turn a comedic actor into an action guy
That's good.
than vice versa.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm just saying you can't make a blanket statement that all these guys, nobody could do it when there are definitely
There are guys
four
that can do it.
examples, Arnold being the leading one, of guys who just, they are unique and they are.
But I think that to the point of the action stars and comedic roles, their success does not come from their comedic timing. Their success does not come from their delivery. I don't think that they're inherently funny. I don't think Arnold's inherently funny. I don't think Carl Weathers inherently funny. I don't think Jackie Chan I think is actually inherently funny, and he's an action guy as a side thing. I think that he's more of a fun role.
That was great. And then that's the second.
That's
clip.
the take. But
that's the second clip right there.
That's fine.
That is crazy. Jackie Chan is a comedic guy.
And I guess one thing that I wrote down is, do they have the comedic aura to develop their own jokes or delivery that's not easy to replicate? So everyone can sound like Arnold. That doesn't make him talented.
I don't think that Arnold is going to improvise on the set and do that. He might be doing it
sometimes.
He might be doing it now. Well, sometimes.
Well, I'm saying he's had some.
I got it.
Some improvisations.
I'm sure now he's a little bit more comfortable, but like you can't tell me on like Kindergarten Cop.
If he couldn't read or have a feel for comedy, then the movies with comedy in them wouldn't be as successful as they were. They wouldn't have made hundreds of millions of dollars or whatever. Like, if a guy sucks at acting and can't act, then most of the time, at least after,
I think you
can quit bashing Will Smith. We already did it.
At least after a few years, it's not going to work. Like fucking Hulk Hogan tried making a movie career. He was horrible.
Yeah, it was really
he
bad.
has a physique like Arnold.
He was in Three Ninjas.
He's good in Rocky 3, but then it's like, oh, let me try and do my own thing. It doesn't work.
He was a villain.
You know what I'm saying?
Ninjas.
Like, not everybody could have turned Terminator or whatever into an actual leading man career where he could have the opportunity to do a movie like Twins, to do a movie like Junior, do a movie like Jingle All the Way, have people go out and buy and see it. Well, that's your opinion.
That's a lot of people.
So
not hundreds of millions of dollars worth of people's opinions.
Right. And there's a large
Money Talks.
That's a good movie with
Your Shit Walks.
Chris.
You're right. Terminator versus
Tucker
Jingle All the Way. Let's look at box office. All right, continue.
Chris
Yeah,
Tucker
let's compare his best movie to a comedy that
True
he made
Lies,
in his
Predator,
career.
Conan the Barbarian, all out.
Let's compare
score those four.
Let's compare Rocky to Get Carter. Let's compare Daybreak to Rambo. Well, we're comparing.
You said you're talking about success.
We're comparing their best movies to their worst movies. Why not, Bobby?
You said
why don't you go with that?
I'm going with your argument.
That's your argument.
Your argument says Money Talks. Money Talks.
You're comparing their most iconic movie to to another movie they made, which was successful, but not as successful. It's the stupidest
thing ever.
But
you just said it. You said Money Talks.
Why do you compare? Whatever. Let's compare fucking Michael Jackson's last album to Thriller. Oh, because it's not Thriller. It's not Thriller. Well, no shit, it's not fucking Thriller, Bobby, because there's only one fucking
You're right.
Terminator.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
It's a fucking dumb fucking thing to say.
And
stop shaping it to make you work for you.
You said it. I'm using your word. Money Talks, and all of his action roles exceeded far beyond any of his comedic roles.
And a lot of his movies have both action and
that,
comedy. This is coming from the guy who thinks Jackie Chan's a comedian, apparently.
I think he's more of a comedic actor than
that is
he
a
is
ridiculous
an
take. He didn't do any fucking comedy till Rush Hour. What the fuck are you talking about?
All right, so list me off 4 movies he did before Rush Hour.
Rumble in the Bronx. I don't know. All these Hong Kong movies. I didn't watch this shit. Because
they're
all fucking Hong Kong action movies.
Right, and our audience is here based mostly in the U.S. Thank you.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
So we had no exposure to him as an action.
Oh, my favorite color is green. Thank you. And the sky is blue. Thank you. I can say statements and say thank you too and sound like a smart jackass. Jesse Ventura was a wrestler. Thank you. And Arnold's from Austria. Thank you. And anything else you want to say thank you to, Oj?
I do.
Fucking ridiculous, man. Come on.
Yeah, Money
Hold
Talks.
on. There's a couple of Jackie movies.
Thank you.
Okay.
I didn't prove anything. Prove my point.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did.
Jackie.
I know you thought you did.
Police Story was the one that I was thinking
by the
of.
way, Bobby, 129 million for Jingle All the Way. Terminator 78 million. So you can suck my cock.
78 million?
Yeah, 129 for Jingle All the Way. If you're gonna go by that,
I mean,
let's look at.
By your definition, Jingle All the Way is a better movie, then, right? Because it made more money.
Let's gross towards both those films. I'd be curious that DVD sales and everything else.
So I'm just gonna
let's add that up.
I just want to look at the Jackie Chan. So all of these are these, Asian, Chinese,
Hong Kong.
Yeah.
No. But let me get to it.
I'm just
So
saying,
all
I
these
don't
are
speak Mandarin. So I'm sure.
that's fine. That's fine. All of these Chinese movies, and he started in 1966. Probably as an extra, so not doing a whole lot. 1966 until where was that?
98's Rush Hour.
98's Rush Hour. Which again,
Over
I've never.
843 million.
I will tell you, man.
the
Haven't
franchise.
seen all these, but they all look like action movies, which means that for 30 years he was an action star.
No, right. I wish I
And
had some
then-
exposure to his films because I only saw him in my, I guess, exposure to him was in Rush Hour. So I saw him as a comedic role first.
I totally get that, and I totally get where you put that in your mind that he is a funny guy because he really is.
He is a funny guy.
I think all I'm asking you to do is to open your mind up to the fact that he had a whole career before he was a comedic actor.
And the whole
So you may have think him as a comedic actor. That's fine. You can think whatever you want. You can think the sky is brown. I don't care. But you just got to know that, like, again, he did have a 30-year career of an action star before then he became a comedic actor. But that's the only part that I wanted to mention.
No.
Ryan, final thoughts.
He wants to stab me so
he's a
hard.
fucking idiot. The Terminator franchise made the billion. No shit. Well, there's 6 fucking movies. Of course they made that much movie. There's only one Jingle All the Way. Why the fuck would one movie make more than 6?
There was 2, but Arnold wasn't in the second
Whatever.
one.
The one that he's a part of. It doesn't make
Whatever.
sense. Also, T2 is one of the biggest movies of all time. It's like, hey, let's compare the Titanic to to Leo's Beach movie because that would make a lot of sense. No, it's stupid. He made both. They're different movies.
All right. So we've had it out here. We went pretty much 4 rounds.
Problems with you people.
We went pretty much 4 rounds. So that was dope. It was good.
Well, why you think I won?
So yeah,
So usually the emotionally unavailable
in
one
the
who
comments.
freaks out doesn't win things.
this would be
but
fantastic if this was our highest viewed episode ever.
it won't be.
That'd
do
be
we? Or, hey, we have 103 though. Hey, we appreciate you subscribing.
Hell yeah, keep
Chime in.
subscribing.
Speaking of which,
people.
by the way, Jingle All the Way is like 700 views, 670 something.
So
No kidding.
Hell yeah, dude, nice.
Who the hell's watching this shit? We
Our
appreciate
Arnold fans.
fans.
Who think he's funny?
All right, so
Support me.
last
and I
last
withdraw
minute,
my opinion now.
All right, last minute, some timekeeping.
Holy shit, 600.
So this has been the Sandpaper Hour. Okay, we will do
Or the airing
one.
of the grievances.
We will do another one for sure. We're just gonna need to get some more topics, and then we'll.
I got one.
We'll
load
throw-
ready.
All right, we'll throw it out on the next one there, but we got to get those out there. The Will Smith one we had to get that one out for sure.
And the Arnold one. That was-
Yeah, I
So-
think a lot of information was.
All right, so I did want to go
Sure.
through just a little bit here, and I'm actually going to put it. I got to put it at the beginning probably, and then at the end. So Bobby, for whatever reason, the picture that I took of your bun. So tell him the story real quick of the McDonald's bun,
Oh right. So we're about to do a board game for like 4 or 5.
which we showed episode.
We have an
68
episode
or
for
something
this,
like that.
and we
Yeah.
ordered some food from McDonald's because like, hey, we want to start off, get a little bit of food in us, and snack a little bit, and then later on grab another bite.
Right.
They literally sent me all 3 parts of a Big Mac bun, and I ordered just a standard Big Mac.
Yeah, so the guy removed all
3 parts.
all the meat, the cheese, the lettuce, the sauce, the pickles.
Everything.
So
Those buns.
when you just
$6 for bread.
Exactly.
So we thankfully I did like tell them like, hey, this guy just gave us a bun, and then he refunded the Big Mac part. So that was cool on Uber Eats or
they
DoorDash or
should. I
whatever.
mean, they didn't even do the order.
But for whatever reason, the Instagram it wasn't allowing me to just put up the picture, so I'm putting it in the episode.
That's
so
fine.
I'll put this here, and then maybe I'll actually clip
Graphic,
it, and then I'll put it in the front of the episode too, so people actually see it.
McDonald's, you need to step your game up. You're slacking lately. Every time
you haven't
get-
been giving him any
Every
onions.
time I get double cheeseburger, there's no onions on there. It comes with
bringing
fucking
you-
onions.
I'm dicing up some onions and bringing some
Put
here.
on the damn onions.
Yeah,
I even
mean,
asked one time for extra onions and got nothing onion.
that's what he wants. He wants those onions.
More
You're my
onions.
Sandpaper Hour, McDonald's.
McDonald's, you fucking.
You're grinding
Coming
my
at you,
gears.
grinding his gears. There you go. So I'm gonna put that in because I want the world to see it. It's so goddamn.
It was so
funny.
depressing.
Yeah,
I was like, it feels light.
You don't give my man his meat he wants. You're not giving me my fucking
Well, you know, it
onions.
doesn't get anything. What are you on? Just an all carb diet? Yeah, let me just get all all the bun. The worst part, arguably.
Can I get my Big Mac compartmentalized? I want everything separate.
So I did want to do some housekeeping. That was the word I said.
Housekeeping.
Timekeeping. So Bobby, you unfortunately never paid up from the pick bet. So like halfway through.
Oh, the $5. You're right.
Yeah,
I did.
$5. You were like, oh yeah, Ryan is going to have more picks right. So I just wanted to throw that out.
That's
there.
fair. That's fair.
That. The other reason that I brought this up is so the paintball.
We figured it out.
So what I think happened, because I watched a good chunk of a lot of episodes.
Sure.
And I do the time stamping thing. So like I can go and be like,
Right.
okay, here, it's not in this part, go to the next or whatever. So we either we talked about it for literally like 30, 40 seconds, or we possibly did it off the podcast and we just don't really
But
remember.
I think that the bet itself fell back to our performance in fantasy football, and we all landed at the same position.
Right. So this is what I would
Call it
say
a wash.
is we'll call it a wash for now. For
Someone's got to send me that guy's address.
I mean,
maybe
I'm not gonna lie. I reached out to the guy. Like,
But hey, you know what?
send him a message.
You know what? I'll make it our 110th if he doesn't respond by then. 110th, getting
right.
A
I mean,
gun.
again, I would love to
150.
Lynn Von or whatever. It was in the other episode, but you know, again, like if you want it, man, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch this. Know, hey, we're communicating with you. But like I said, just hit me back, and then we'll get that out to you if we can. Otherwise,
Shift
let's.
into 150.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
we
I
could
like
do another bet. Where we go, hey, in the next season, because it'll take probably about another year for us to get another 50.
Another
subscribers.
50 subscribers, probably.
So let's do it with the next one, and then we'll figure out a punishment and we'll present it then.
After the Sandpaper Hour, we're gonna have Alicia Keyes people after us. Everybody, they're gonna just join.
I
us.
think
Well,
I think silent majority will be shared in the.
I think
message in the
Alicia
comment
Key
section.
fans will comment going,
That's fine.
what the fuck?
just for spite.
Yeah, I could yell at a piano too. Give me an Oscar.
All
Give me an
right.
Emmy.
Good stuff, man. So, as I already knew, the Bulls were going to lose by 22. Should have bet on it. That sucks.
Was that the line?
No, the line was 14
last time
and
you bet
15
them, they
and a half.
won. They lost, or they won though. The Bulls. So.
Ah,
Yeah, it's whatever.
You
They're
kiboshed
garbage.
him.
It's all good. But, the Sandpaper Hour is fun. We're definitely going to do that again. It's nice to get heated every once in a while, but
yeah, Ryan, I loved it. You
we're
were
back.
swimming in the hot tub.
we're back to even keel here. So, the Journeymen Lounge Podcast will ride again, and we'll come back to you. Now, this tease it again because
Yep,
we
here we go.
got a big one.
Scorsese.
Well,
gotta-
it's Scorsese movie month, and well, I don't know if the audience knows or not, but this is my favorite movie we're gonna do, which is Goodfellas. So we've been saving this in the tank for quite a while.
It's
This could be 2 hours.
And then they basically were like, "Hey, let's do Scorsese month," and I was like, "So you want me to do Goodfellas?" So
Yeah.
it's coming to the time where we can do Goodfellas.
so yeah, it's gonna be Goodfellas. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be extensive.
It's gonna be extensive. Is a great word for it. So tune into that. For Woj.
Ryan.
And Bobby.
All right, we'll talk to y'all next week. Journeyman Lounge. Peace.
Yeah.
The Herdsman.